let's be honest, and I had this honest conversation with him before as well, I think we would have 100% broken up if we didn't do long distance. Hi, how are you? I'm so sorry I haven't been posting as often as I would have liked. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Sienna. Hi, nice to meet you. And I am currently in a long distance relationship with my boyfriend. If you follow me on my Instagram, you will see a lot more posts that we film together. And I've been getting a lot of DMs asking about our long distance relationship. So to give you a very quick rundown of our relationship background, we started dating in Toronto in 2019, I think, or 2018, and we dated about a year and COVID hit, so I came back to Korea. It was originally supposed to be about 6 months that I came to Korea for, but things just worked out here and I ended up staying for 2 more years. And during that time, we literally didn't know if and when we were ever gonna see each other again, but we decided to push through. And I mean, there were literally no distractions. People always say, oh, it must have been so hard. I mean, it was, but I feel like everything was in lockdown during that time. So I was just home chilling and going to work. He decided to move to Korea for about 6-7 months. And that's why I have all these amazing, fun Korea vlogs. After the 7 months, we traveled around Southeast Asia for about a month, and we did long distance for 6 months. And yeah, we recently reunited in Hawaii for about 10 days. That's why I'm like pretty tan. I just wanted to make this video because I feel like a lot of people are curious about long distance, or I get a lot of DMs from people saying, oh, they're in a relationship that's long distance as well. Like, how do you do it? Or maybe you just want to know more about it and how we're able to make it work. By the way, I am sitting in the bathtub right now. I came to Sokcho. If you guys don't know where Sokcho is, it's one of my favorite vacation spots for the summer in Korea. And I am literally, if I keep facing this way during my video, it's literally because I am facing such a beautiful view. I have to show you guys. Like, what? This is my view. So I'm so sorry. This hotel located in Sokcho is called Pension CL172, and it's so beautiful. You have the wide angle view of the East Sea, and it's such a popular place to come to for the summertime. You have the spa, you have the bed, you have the couch, and you just have everything that you need in this hotel. And it was just such an amazing time to kind of recollect my thoughts, and I brought a journal with me and I got to watch the sunrise and the sunset. It was really easy to come here without a car as well because I don't drive. So good, so convenient to come here. I highly recommend it for those of you that are looking for a place to visit for the summertime in Korea. So that is where I'm staying. For those of you that are curious about where you would like to stay and what kind of vacation spots there are for the summer in Korea, then you can definitely check out this hotel. Oh my god, it's so beautiful and I feel so safe. I'm literally alone today. Also, take everything that I say with a grain of salt, just because obviously taking relationship advice is great and there are some really helpful advice out there, but every single relationship is different because every single person is different. So I just want you to kind of just like listen to this, play it in the background as you do something, and just hear my story about me defending long distance relationships, because I heard so many outside noises of people saying that we're gonna break up, he's gonna cheat on me, I'm gonna cheat on him. I'm like wasting my time being in a long distance relationship when I could be dating all these guys. And it's like, what guys? I'm not missing out. I'm not missing out. I'm going to make this the most positive video about long distance and hopefully give you guys some hope if you yourself are in a long distance relationship. Let's start here. Long distance relationship is difficult. It is challenging and it does require both of you to put in the work. But at the same time, what relationship doesn't require effort and sacrifice and faith? Obviously, if you're in a long distance relationship, you have your moments. Okay, I had my moments crying myself to sleep. Okay, we're not gonna talk about that because that's just kind of embarrassing. But yeah, there's no photos of you guys together. There's no memories of you guys together for about 3 years of our relationship. It's mostly us through a video call or watching a movie together. Oh my god, why do I feel like I'm gonna cry right now? Okay, if I cry in this video, mind your business, okay? Mind your business. We're not gonna talk about it ever again. So we start talking about my boyfriend, I just start weeping my eyes. I live in Korea, he lives in Canada, so it's not like we could visit each other every weekend or every month or anything like that. When I reflect on our relationship, let's be honest, and I had this honest conversation with him before as well, I think we would have 100% broken up if we didn't do long distance. I'm going to make a separate video more about my mental health because I love to share. I love to overshare online. I love talking about myself online. When I was in Toronto, I was dealing with a lot of mental health issues that I kind of neglected while I was living in Korea before, and I went to therapy. I ended up in the emergency room, a fun little trip to the ER, and he was there. He was there literally throughout it all, and he would pray for me, bring me food, and I was on medication in Toronto, so I was experiencing a lot of side effects to medication. So I do not remember like 2 or 3 months of my life in Toronto. And he just really 100% was like hands-on, like taking care of me, and even messaging all of my professors and emailing them. I would have failed my 3rd year of college if it weren't for him. So God bless him. So I was leaning on him a lot, and that's something that is such a blessing to have in a relationship. But at the same time, I think that was starting to take a toll on his mental health as well. I was dependent on him every single day, and if one day he said I have to go to work or I just need a break a little bit, I would just full on go crazy. Like, it was such a bad time. And the first year of our relationship, I was the toxic one. We had a lot of communication issues in that first year because I was also dealing with BPD. I was dealing with a lot. It was just a lot of things coming out from my shadows, from my past, and it was really difficult. If you guys know what BPD is, it's borderline personality disorder, and I am very good now. I'm doing good. But back in the day, if I felt like that person was giving me less attention, I felt very abandoned. I would just full on go crazy, and I would attack him like verbally, because I would rather attack him and push him away than to feel like I was abandoned. So I realized my fault. I'm not saying having BPD is an excuse to do that. When I think back, I don't understand why I acted so crazy, but now I have a clearer understanding of what it is. So now I know my triggers, so we were able to have that conversation and deal with that. So that's where we were at, and it was getting really, really bad near the end when COVID first hit, because I was feeling very lonely and I just wanted to do everything with him. But the thing is, like, I don't know how he does it. This man is so emotionally intelligent, which is crazy. I really admire that about him. He had his boundaries, and it never felt like he was disrespecting me by setting boundaries. It showed me that it's really healthy to have your own boundaries. So yeah, I feel very blessed. I feel so blessed that I was able to have a person like that in my life that's not just my boyfriend, but like someone that I genuinely looked up to. So when we were doing long distance, obviously you can't meet each other, right? So we got so much better at communicating, because communication is all you have in a long distance. Like, everything that I Google about like how to make long distance relationship work, he did everything that they recommended. Like, like WikiHow, they're like, number 1, send each other good morning and good night. It's stuff like, little stuff like that. He used to always just do it. It just came naturally to him, I guess. Like, so I think that in itself, that was a very good foundation to work with. Was we were very good at communicating. Always send each other good morning, good night texts, what we were doing, just to make each other feel more involved in our lives. And we would call as often as we could. In the beginning, it made it pretty easy because, like I said, we were in lockdown, so we were home. Even when we were working from home, and it just made communication a lot easier. Although the first year of doing long distance, it really challenged us. That's when we learned each other's love languages. So I highly recommend taking the love language test. And we figured out how each other can feel loved, and mine is gift giving, so he would send me a lot of packages. His is words of affirmation, so I would try. I'm not very good at it because I'm not affectionate, so I would try to like constantly tell him how much I appreciate it. You really have to work at it. All the little things that the other person said, if it still bothers you, you have to talk about it. My God, like from where we used to be to where we are now at resolving conflict, it's insane how much we upgraded, how much I upgraded. Because before, I would just kind of shut down and I wouldn't talk, and if he apologized, I would take 2 or 3 business days to get over it, and then I would never say sorry. But then now we're able to listen to each other, and you can't be interrupting each other, especially when you're on the phone. So you have to listen to each other, and we always say, I understand how this action, and describe that action or something that you said made you feel like so and so. We always try to understand from each other's perspectives before we explain and get defensive about, no, that's not what I meant. What I meant is blah, 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 blah. But that's something that even now I struggle with, but like I got a lot better from what I used to do in the past. So that's also something amazing that came out of doing long distance, is that we are so much better at communicating, and when we see each other, we hardly ever fight, and when we do, it's something so small and stupid, and we can get over it pretty quick. That's what makes it fun, is also like seeing the growth in yourself and also in your partner as well, and just figuring it out as you go. Another amazing thing that came out of doing long distance is that we learn how to build trust and have faith in each other. This is not something that was ever a problem, because my boyfriend doesn't really like drinking, he doesn't like partying, so I never had to like worry about him going clubbing and anything like that. So I know that for some couples, and every single person's different, you just wouldn't let your significant other go out or go clubbing, but I think it's just because you don't trust who they're around and also the environment. But at the end of the day, it comes down to like, you don't trust that person as well for them to even be tempted in that environment. But I think for us is that even if we are in an environment with people that do crazy things, like I'm not a big partier, he's not a big partier, so we know when to go home, and we always let each other know when we're home. And in the beginning, because of all these outside noises that I was getting from my friends, they would put thoughts in my head that like, oh, maybe like he's cheating or like whatever it is. And like, mind you, doing a long distance relationship, it's true, it is so easy for you to cheat, especially because our time zones are so different. So if anything, like he could be doing something in the daytime and I had no idea about it, right? So it all just comes down to trust. The next one is something that I especially love, is that we learned how to be creative in showing our love and spending time together. You can only call each other every single day for so long after you get bored and you run out of things to talk about. So we would find like, I'm a girly girl, so I love hypothetical questions. So I would just go onto Google and type like 100 questions to ask your significant partner. It's basically torture for him, but so fun for me. Both of our love languages that are pretty high up is quality time, and so we find ways to spend that quality time together. And so what he used to do that's getting harder to do these days is that he used to like plan date nights, which is so cute. I'll insert a photo here if I find it, but he would make these like cute little posters of like Sienna and then date nights. And what we do is we go on Scener. I think you have to pay for it now, but it used to be free. And we go on Scener, and it's basically a website where it allows you to watch Netflix together. And I think there's a couple other platforms that you can watch as well, but you watch Netflix together with your friends, and you get to like see their reactions and chat, and it's very fun. So we used to do movie nights together. He wanted to like cook together one time. I didn't like the idea because I don't like cooking, but he wanted to cook together one time. And there's just so many creative things that you can do. And we would send each other care packages. We don't send them anymore because it's like we would rather save. But like in the beginning, it's always fun to like gift each other stuff from your country. The next thing that I love about being in a long distance relationship is that it gives each other time to focus on their career and their individual lives. Now, if I had been in Canada, I feel like he would have been my whole world in my early 20s, and that's not good. And being away from him, although it sucked, It allowed me to focus on myself, what I like, what I want my life to look like, and what my career goals are. Me being a clingy person, it forced me to have my own separate life outside of my boyfriend. And I think this is especially important for someone in their early 20s. So I really appreciate the time that we spend apart from each other, because it really allows us to work harder for the day that we see each other again, and for us to like kind of map out our future. There is a lot of growth that you will be seeing, not only for yourself in your life, but also in your partner as well. And I love getting together and just sharing what our lives had been like. I'm gonna cry. What our lives were like for the past couple months or years. And it's like you're separating a little bit, living your life. Although you're talking every single day and you're still in a relationship, it's obviously not the same as like being together physically. It's really amazing. Like I can't even describe, like even when we were in Hawaii, like the first day, for me to even describe like all the mental growth that I went through. Alone crying in a bathtub. What is my life? All the growth that I went through and where my life is at, it was really freaking amazing. Like it was so worth it, you know. That's the thing, like it really sucks being away, but then get to reunite for a couple days or months after that. Like it's just so worth it. Another thing that I really appreciate that he used to do, if you are someone that is kind of counting down the days of you guys separating again, like maybe you guys reunited or you have to do long distance soon, and you're like, oh my god, in 5 days we're gonna say goodbye. That's how my mind worked. I was like counting down the days in such depression and dread. It was almost ruining our trip. Like I was like, oh my gosh, in 5 days, we're gonna say goodbye. In 4 days, I'm gonna go back to Korea. In 3 days, I'm gonna be so depressed, right? But something that he suggested that we do every single night was that we would say to each other 2 or 3 things that we were grateful for. And this literally changed my mindset of doing long distance, because it went from, oh my god, I'm so depressed of doing long distance, to like, okay, this is something that I really liked about today. This is something that I really appreciate about you. And it just made me really happy. We're changing every single day of our lives. It's not just people that are in long distance relationships. Every single person, even for me, I am changing and evolving every single day of my life. I'm not the same person that I was a week ago or a month ago or a year ago. And it's the same for him as well. And I was scared by that idea of, oh my god, if he's changing every single day, one day we might wake up one day and realize that we don't like each other. But I mean, that's a very negative way of looking at it. Another beautiful way of looking at it is it's just such an amazing feeling to have, that this is someone that I choose to love every single day. This is someone that I choose to find out more about every single day and learn more about. This is someone that I choose to constantly make an effort for. And there's a book that I read, I think it was called The Conversation on Love or something, that's what it's called. And there's a lot of marriage counselors and people that study love and different couples. And something that I learned from that book that really stands out with me is that you kind of need to think about love as like a plant, and it's something that you both water. If the other person is having a bad day and they're falling behind and they're not watering the plant, then you need to water it double. If you feel like you need to take a breather and you need a break, then the other person needs to step in and water the plant double. And I think that's what we've been doing very well. And obviously there's a lot of things that we still need to work on in our relationship. Our relationship is not perfect. But I realized that that's what we've been doing all this time, especially what he's been doing all this time, because I'm a very emotional person. So a lot of the times I used to have a lot of questions about like, what are we gonna be? Like, what's the future gonna look like? I did not have the best examples of what love is supposed to look like. So I just kind of was scared by it for the longest time. Oh my God, why am I crying so much? But every single time I feel like he was able to come in and step in and really work hard for us and fight for us. And if I really think about it now though, like there's never been a time when I was like, I want to break up, and I actually meant it. I think it was just a lot of pressure, like a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and a lot of just the fact that like the future is just so unpredictable. So that's always been a very hard thing for me. I'm a Christian, and we often have a lot of conversations about, you know, the spiritual world. If you are ever in a vulnerable spot, you're letting the door open easier for the devil to get to you and to go inside of your head. And that's what I felt like I was dealing with a lot. It wasn't that I was dealing with things of the world. It felt like I had a lot of spiritual battles. And every single time he has able to just kind of swoop me back up and out of that spot as soon as he realized I was falling deeper and deeper into that pit. And that's something that I highly, like, really appreciate. All the things that I felt like I would have beaten myself up for many months or like weeks and days, like crying myself to sleep every night, comparing myself to others. I have never cried myself to sleep when we were together, and I think that says a lot about how you constantly need to make effort for each other and be there to take care of each other. The last positive thing, I mean, there's many more, but I can't make this video 2 hours long. I love the fact that every single time we reunite, it feels like the first date all over again. When I see on like YouTube or Instagram of like other couples like reuniting, they're like running into each other's arms, being like, oh my God, I missed you so much. I'm not like that at all. Like I feel so awkward for like the first 3 hours. I'm just frozen. I remember after not seeing each other for 2 years, and when he came to Korea, I picked him up at the airport and I was literally just like, and he tried to grab my hand and I was like, I need time. He just felt like a stranger. Like it felt like I had to like go on the first date all over again. And I like that though. I like that. It keeps the relationship very exciting. And before I used to say, like when my friends were dating and in their honeymoon phase in the beginning, I was kind of like, oh, I'm like so jealous of you. I miss feeling like that. I miss feeling butterflies. But then every time we like reunite, I feel that all over again. Like I was getting butterflies in Hawaii. And I feel like that's very rare. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my chest. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the times I just focus too much on the negatives of long distance and like it sucks, it's so hard and you break up. But there are a lot of good things that come out of it as well for people that really want to make it work. It has to be double-sided tape. It has to be two-way. It can't just be one person wanting to put in the effort to make it work. It has to be the both of you. So that is the end of the video today. Thank you so much for staying and listening to me. All of your support means a lot to me. All the comments that I get, all the DMs that I get, it means the world, and I'm very excited to share more about my life. I'll link all of my socials down in the comments below so you can check that out and you can get in touch for anything. And yeah, if you guys are in a long distance relationship, good luck. I hope you are doing well. And if you're just curious and you clicked on this video, then I hope you're happy with what you got. I hope you learned something new. Don't forget to leave a like to this video and follow for more, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!